Planet 2.0 Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Man, it has been so long since I've done one of these. But anyways, guys, I know it's been some time since I've done one of these YouTube cast, podcasts, whatever you want to call them. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone out there is filled with great things and great things coming their way. Well, what I want to do right now is share some of the past few years and what has happened with me. I've had some downs and definitely some ups and big changes in my life, and hopefully this can inspire people out there that might be listening first time, just getting back in the groove of things. Some people that might feel like they're stuck in life, some people that might feel like, don't know where they're going. Or, if you're going at a great rate or wherever you are, you know what, good for you. Just, stay tuned. I hope you guys like these YouTube casts. Anyways, guys, let's begin. So, I had two best friends of mine that, eventually one of them became, I'm not gay, but one of the girls that, I had a girl and a guy, and they were both my best friends, and she had gone through some traumatic stuff, and she kind of lost her house, and, I was like, me and my other guy, best friend at the time, we all kind of like decided to move in together, and at the same time, I was going to school, or reapplying to school, because I couldn't find a decent job that wanted to pay me the certain amount that I'm worth. And I had been like that for almost, a year or two. And I was like, what the heck am I doing with my life? I got to do something. I was working, 3 part-time jobs. I was like, I can't do this. I got to work 1 full-time job. So I decided to go back to school. And at the same time, my girlfriend at that time, who was my best friend, and another guy friend of mine who was my best friend. We all decided to move in together and try and work things out. Well, things were great, I started school. I started collision school to learn paint, body, welding, you name it. I mean, I learned everything. It was collision, so I mean, you name it, body filler, custom painting. I mean, some of the most amazing things I've ever learned there in my entire life. I know it's manual labor. It's a little bit harder to work at because what I learned was, or my bachelor's was actually sitting behind the desk, sitting all day, working an 8-hour shift, just doing whatever. But still, it's tough. It's really tough. Sitting behind a desk all day, it hurts your eyes. You can get carpal tunnel syndrome. I wasn't planning on getting carpal tunnel, so I decided to change my careers. Yes, I paid a little bit more out of my pocket and some loans, but I wasn't happy with where I was. So, like I said, I went to school. I went to learn from the best or the places that I can find, or it was actually not too far from me. I mean, it was maybe like 40-minute drive, but that's why I decided to move in with my girlfriend at the time and one of my best friends. We all did, really great in the beginning, especially me, with school, and I really wanted to focus on school, and school was the most important thing because I knew that my career depends on how well I do in school. Now, I don't need straight A's, on all my exams. At least passing is suffice for me. So I did. I had really good attendance. I really enjoyed class. And what was it? Maybe like 6 months in, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. About 6 months in, just things started just going downhill. And well, it wasn't from that. Downhill with my girlfriend at the time. And I wasn't too happy, and I decided to break up with her. And at the same time, I was going to school. Still living there, still living in the apartment, still trying to keep my cool and play it cool with everyone else. And things just started spiraling down from there, and it became very unhealthy and unstable for me to be in a certain environment that was whatever it was. I don't know what it was. And after that, I really came to the conclusion that there was a fight I had with my best friend at that time, the guy, and I came to the conclusion that it's not worth me going through the stress and headache that I was going through. I decided to move out, which I did. I think maybe 7 or 8 months in living together, I was like, I'm done. So I still stayed focused in school. The class I had at that time was, I think, Paint 2, which is like you paint. You learn how to sand down two fenders and a hood. Primer. You sand down the primer, and then you repaint it whatever color you wanted. And my grades actually plummeted that class. It was really, really, really bad. It plummeted when I had moved out and all this crap happened. My grades plummeted. I actually had to retake the class. I never had to retake a class, and that was the only class I had to retake. I really wasn't too happy about that, but I wasn't all mentally prepared for everything that happened. But the most important thing is myself, and I learned that, you know what, I can make other people happy. I can try, but I realized that the most important person is myself, and if I'm not happy, then I just can't succeed in life. And happiness, my belief in life is happiness is one of the most important things, and taking care of yourself. Look, I understand some people out there may have families to take care of. Yeah, that's very important. It's very important. Family is very important. Let me say this again. I will say this again and again and again. Family is so important, and I've realized this, how important family is. But push comes to shove, if you're married out there or listening, don't forget, yourself comes first. Your happiness inside comes first. That doesn't mean, hey, Darren said do this, I'm going to break up with my wife because I'm not happy. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there are ways to deal with things. And I was unable to deal with some certain situations in my life because I tried helping. I tried giving good advice and doing good things, and it didn't seem to work. Anyways, but let's talk about the schooling. So the school that I went to, I learned collision, paint and body, welding, cutting, anything you could possibly imagine with paint and body. Some of the first classes I took were really boring. I learned a little bit of mechanic work. Didn't really enjoy that too much, but and electrical, and once we got into the painting side, which was, like I said, Paint 2, which was sanding down a fender, two fenders and a hood, spraying on clear coat, wet sand and buffing. A lot of things started changing. I really got inspired, and really things started to kick up, and I really was like, man, I got to do something, I got to do something with myself. I really got to I really got to do something. And I did. I actually ended up finding a part-time job at a really cool dealership, which didn't last long, but that was mostly mechanic work. And, thankfully I got a chance to work at a dealership, and things started rolling from there. I didn't work at it a long time, but my old job ended up calling me back. It was like, hey, we need you part-time. I was like, all right. And I ended up working part-time whilst I was in school. Not as many hours, but still, I got a decent pay for what I was doing. And from there, I really, really, really enjoyed things. I mean, besides the whole breakup and moving out and not being friends, I really started to enjoy a lot more things in life, and started to realize, what? Internal happiness is very important. And, to those of you that are listening out there, if you're not happy with where you are, the least you can do is either change your perception in life, and hopefully it works out for the best, and try and keep a positive note with things, Or B, if you're not happy and it's not working out for you, change careers or find another place to work or move out. Just do something rapid. I mean, do something that suits you. Don't do something, don't do something, oh, Darren said on radio, oh, he said, no, I'm telling you, you are in control of your life. And it is up to you whether or not you want to do this or you want to do that, or you want to do the one in the middle. Whatever your choice is, go ahead and do it. And I realized this, it's taken some time, but, everybody has learning curves in life. Some for the good and some for the worst. And, I think everything has a plan. Everything's there and everything's great. So things are looking better. Now I have a full-time job. I know it's been some time, but now I have a full-time job. I'm working. I'm actually painting cars. I'm doing paint repairs and doing painting cars, and I really enjoy it. Any of you guys out there that really isn't enjoying their job, try and look at the great things in your job instead of the bad things. Once you change your whole perception and how you perceive your job, oh, someone said this, oh, someone said that, my boss is blah, blah, blah. Don't let that get to you, because I realize that my internal happiness is important and yours is too. So if you want to realize what I'm telling you, first you gotta look at your own perception and how you perceive your job. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to
Planet 2.0 Radio.
I really hope you guys stay tuned. I'm really going to try and bust up or bust out a new one once a week or once every other week. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast and stay tuned for the next one. Take care, guys.